Hi, in this video I'm going to show you guys how we can set up a blueprint for a guided ticket process in Zoho Desk. So the first things first, you need to access your Zoho Desk account. Make sure your account has a administrator access. Then click on setup. Then look for the automation section. Then click on the blueprint here. Then click on create blueprint. Then add your blueprint name. So we're going to, in this video, we're going to create a ticket lifecycle blueprint. That. Then we can select our, we can specify the record. So if we want, we can add a criteria to what records would this blueprint applied for, or we can select the all records. Then we click next. Then here you can see we have here the states. So these states are our statuses in our ticket. Then we can just drag and drop them to the in the blueprint like so. So since I'm going to create a ticket life cycles from open, we need to add a new status, which is on in progress, and it should be an open type blueprint. Okay, then we'll drag that in progress into our blueprint. Then we can connect the open status to the in progress status just by clicking on this dot, then dragging it to the in progress tab. Now when you see this would be the time where you will create a transition. So from open to in progress, what would be the transition called? So we can add our transition name, or we can use this and start working. Then we can click the add transition if you're good with this. Then click add transition. Now you have a transition from open to in progress. Then in that transition, we can set up a condition. So before, we can choose the agent or team that are authorized to proceed with this transition. Then we can add a during. We can add an operation where we can update or send a reply. Here we can make sure that some fields are mandatory. So let's say the ticket owner should be mandatory. There should be a assigned agent before starting working. We can remove this so that everyone can can start the transition. Then in the after part of our transition, we can add alert. So let's say we want to add a notification to our let's say our customer, or in our customer, that the ticket is now in progress or is being worked on. For example, I think we have here before. We don't have an email template on that, but we can create a custom email template for that. But let's just assume that this is the email template for the notification. We can just name this inform customer or contact that ticket in progress, something like that. Then we can send it to notify contact. Let's save. You can also update fields. So aside from the status, we can actually update our fields. They can be the default fields or the mandatory fields. We can update that during the transition. Then we can also add tasks as well as custom functions. But this is good enough for our demo for today. But you have the capability to add other actions after during the transition. So next, now that we have our from open to in progress, we want to have another status. So let's say we want to add up a pending status. That's all the pending status. Or we can use the on hold. Yeah, they can use a pending status. It's an on hold type. So we add that and drag it here. Then from in progress to pending, we need to in this transition we can we are requesting information from the client. Add the transition, then that the criteria to be able to access this should only be the record owner, since here we allow it to any agent can start working, but once the ticket status is in progress and the transition for request info client, only the record owner should be able to get the able to access this transition. So next, during we can add mandatory fields. So let's say we ask some information to the clients. Let's say I don't have much custom fields here, but we can add the product name. Let's say we ask the customer what products they are inquiring or they have an issue with, something like that. Then in the after transition, we can just leave it at this. I don't have much action to perform in this transition. Then in the pending status, we can have on hold. Let's move this here. Let's try moving it here so you can see them. Then we can add it in here. Let me just save this one on hold. So you can name this transition, put on hold, then click OK. Then we can the reason for this is we can say, let's say we're still waiting for the info of the client. Let me remove this. It should not be in here. Let's wait for it. So removing that, then we have here put on hold. Let's say we can send notification to our management that this ticket is on hold. Then next we can add the escalation from our from pending to escalated. So So let's say we create a transition to escalate the issue. We can add a reason. Okay, then we can notify, send alerts to our management. We can send a rule or manager, something like that. Or we can select the agent that is handling certain escalated tickets. But yeah, we can choose the agent, we can choose the teams, roles and subordinates. I can also notify the creator, owner, or the contact, which is the customer, and then the additional recipients is for emails that are outside of Zoho Desk, that are not users of Zoho Desk. So here we can create actually an email sending, notifying manager for the escalation. Then let's say we notify the manager. Click save. Then next we're going to so before that, let me just here let me think what to add yet. Then we can add this to close. Then we can name this as transition as mark as result. Then okay. Then we can send alerts to our customer. Click save. Sorry. We need to notify the contact there. So in this process, we have from the open, so it will transition to start working. Then that would update the status to in progress, and then in progress we'll have a request info from client transition. Then that would mark as pending, which we're waiting for the client's information. Then we can put this on hold. We can actually we can do that. Then mark as pending, that while in pending we can transition to put on hold, or we can transition to escalate. We can escalate the issue or mark a resolve. So before this, let me just, I think this is good. So we can save this to blueprint. We can save. Now we have a simple ticket lifecycle in our Zoho Desk. Wait, so before that, we actually need to make this common transition so that anywhere in the status, the mark as resolved should be open. Save. Okay. Now let's try testing this out. Let's go to the tickets. Let's try opening a sample ticket. So we have here a sample ticket. Check for an open one here. So let me try creating a new ticket. Let me just go back to the blueprint. Let me check it again. Ticket. Sorry about the name. And we can click submit. In here, in our new ticket, you would see we have here our current state, which is the open. And you can see once the blueprint is triggered in the ticket, the status would be locked. Agents are not allowed to update the status. Then we have here, we can transition to start working, and then we also have the transition as markers resolved. You notice this marker resolved because we made this common to all current or state. So if we start working, we can assign the agent or the default agent. Click continue. Then we are moved to the in progress. Then the next transition would be to request the information to the client, or if this issue, if this ticket is resolved, you can just directly mark as resolved. But we can transition to request info. Then on the pending state, we have the put on hold, and then we have unescalate issue and mark as resolved. If you remember in our let me try opening it up. In our blueprint, here you would see the transitions that we made. So yeah, so that's how blueprint works in Zoho Desk, and that's how you set up your blueprint in Zoho Desk. Let's say let's put this on hold. Then after on hold, we can mark as a show. So that's all. Still depends on your business process, but that's how, in a nutshell, that's how you create a blueprint in Zoho Desk. It's just a simple drag and drop feature that even non-technical or non-coding person can do it. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to use macros for repetitive tasks. So let's say when you update your ticket status to in progress, you would send an email to your customer. With macros, we can do that both action in one single click. So first things first, since let me just open a sample ticket. As you can see, I don't have a macro yet, so let's create one. So we go to setup. Let's go to setup. Then under automations, let's just click on this macro. Then here we just need to click this button, create rule. Then here we can add our macro name. Let's just name it this. Let's move into in progress and notify the lesson. It can be an agent as well as the customer. Contact our customer. Then we trigger this active. Then click next. Sorry, special characters not allowed. So let's change that. This. So gap. Then here we can allow for available for, so meaning we can specify who can view and apply the macros in the ticket. It can be all agent or it can be a specific agent. A specific agent, we can select any agents. Let's say from the roles, it can be from the teams or the specific agent itself, or we can just allow for all agent. Click next. The next we're going to have is the action. So the brief description of this is you can specify the actions that to be performed when this rule is executed, which is what we were talking about earlier, which is updating the status to in progress, and then sending a notification to the agent or the customer. So here we just need to click this plus icon. In here we can send an alert, which is first let's before the alerts, let's create the field update. So let's click this create new field update. Here we can name it update status in progress. Then here we can select the status field and then the value, and just click save. Now you have your first action. Next we'll do is we can add our alerts. Here we can click new, then let's say notify agent. So we can select our email template. Let's just use this for now, but you can create your own email template. Then you can also send emails alert to. It can be from the teams, roles, or other person. Then you can also notify the record owner, the creator, or customer, and then the recipient. Make sure if you're going to if you have different email template for your agent and then for customer, make sure to separate those alerts. So for example, here I have here notify agent alert. I click save. Sorry, need to the record owner. Sorry, the record owner. There. So we'll notify the record owner, meaning the agent assigned. Then we can also add our other alert, which is to here. It can be if you already have an existing email alert, you can just associate it. But if you don't have it yet, you can just click this new. Then here you can add the contact. Then you can select your email template. I don't think I have it here. Yeah, I don't have an email template for this, but you can create your own. But for now, let's assume this is the email template that we are using to notify the customer. Then there we can notify the contact. Save. So now we have three actions actually. So we're going to update the status to in progress, then we're going to notify the contact, and then we're going to notify the agent. Then let's just if we're okay with this, we can just click save. Then now we have a macro. You can actually disable this here or deactivate, and it would be appear in here. And you can also delete and edit this one if you want to change your macro. Now let's go back to the ticket earlier here. So as you can see, it's open status, and if we apply a macro here and just click this, it would update the status, and then you will see the status updated to in progress. Here you can see the history. You can see here so in 9 seconds ago the ticket was updated through a macro rule. Here's our rule, Then here from open to in progress, then we also um, notify the contact as well as notify the agent. You can see it here in the history log. So yeah, so that's how you uh, use macro to for your repetitive tasks. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want more how-to videos on Zoho Desk, just click on the notification bell. Thank you. Hello, in this video I'm going to show you guys how we can set up an automate ticket status update based on conditions. For example, if the customer, if let's say this ticket is pending and then the customer send the reply, we would automatically update the status to in progress. That way we don't have to manually check the ticket for the customer response as well as the status of the ticket. So let's get started. So first things first, of course, you need to open your Zoho Desk account. Make sure you have administrator access. Then you go to the setup. Then in the workflow, under automation workflow, click on create rule here. Then select your module. I have here the tickets. Then name your rule. Let's say customer reply. Then click next. Then here we can select the execute on, which the trigger for this rule. So we're going to look for the customer reply here. So when we tick this, every time the customer reply, this condition would trigger. I mean, this workflow would trigger. Then we click next. Then of course, we don't want to apply this to every ticket. We can set a criteria. This workflow will only trigger if the status is pending. So if the status is pending, meaning we're waiting for the customer to respond, then once that customer sends a reply, this workflow will trigger. So now we're done with our criteria. We need to move on to the next, which is the actions. So what will our workflow do? So we need to tell the system that once the customer reply, we want to update our ticket here to in progress. So I have here an already existing as a field update. So update status to in progress. But to show you guys how to make that, we just need to click this plus icon. Then under the field updates, create new. You set up your name. Then you can add a bit of description. Then you can select the status, then select the value like that. So I'm not gonna save this. I'm just going to use the one that I already have here. It's basically the same. So just let me edit this so you guys can see. So here, the status in progress, which is the status field 2 in progress. Then we can also add another action, which is an alert, which is to notify. We are going to notify the agent that the customer responds. So and notify. All right. Then we can select our email template. Here. Then we can notify the record owner, which is the agent that is currently working on the ticket. Click save. Then now we have click save this. Now we have our workflow rule. So let me just recap. So we selected the module, we name our rule, make it descriptive so that you can basically understand what the rule is for. Then select your when to execute this rule. We choose the customer reply. Then we set up our criteria. So meaning the status is in pending. Then last but not least, we set the actions of what we want the workflow to do. So we want the workflow to update the status to in progress and then notify the agent that the customer replied to this ticket. So yeah, so that's it. So you just need to click save. Then now you have created your workflow rules. So yeah, so that's how you set up a ticket how to automate your ticket up status based on a certain condition, and that condition was the email customer response email. There's a lot of conditions here. Like can be a comment, added a comment, an agent response. It can be a private thread or the customer happy rating. And if a field update, let's say if there's any field that has been changed, you can update your status accordingly. So yeah, so that's how so that's it. So if you like this video, feel free to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And for more how-to videos on Zoho Desk, hit the notification bell for more. Hello, in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to set up a time-based rule in Zoho Desk, as well as to create that time-based rule that will auto close inactive tickets. So the first things first is we need to go to setup. To set up a time-based rule in Zoho Desk, we need to use the supervisor rules. Supervisor rules triggers every hour. So here we can create a certain rule. So here we can create a rule, we name it here, something like that. Then we can use business hours if we have set up a business hours, or using calendar hours. Then we can add a brief description. Then we just click next. Then here we can set up a criteria. Here we can add, let's say, if the status is on hold, it can be pending, since let's say pending is our we're still waiting for the customer response. Then we can add another condition, which is here. We can add let's look for something that we can use. Let's say from status pending, how many hours has been it since the last status has been updated to pending. So, or we can use another one. Let's say since created, so let's say it's been created since for 5 more days, we can then close this. It can be a due date, let's agent response, or let's say the customer response. Here, let's try that one. So see if the customer response is greater than, let's say, 24 hours. If the status, so we have the criteria, if the status is pending and it has been more than 24 hours since the customer sent the response, then you just need to click next. Then we need to create an action, a field update. We want to update we need to update the status into close. and click save. Now you have a now you have set up a time-based rule in Zodesk, which that will auto close inactive tickets. So let me check this again. So our criteria is if the status is pending and it has been 24 hours since the last response from the customer, then it will automatically close the ticket. So yeah, so that's how you set up a time-based rule as well as an auto close for inactive tickets. If you need if you like this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And for more how-to videos, just click on the notification bell. Thank you. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how we can activate or deactivate our tickets email channel from Zoho Desk. So the first things first is you need to access your Zoho Desks. I have it right here. Then next you're going to go to the setup, then and the departments. Select the department you don't wish to generate tickets anymore. So I have here, let's say, the legal department. Then in the channels, we have here the support email address. So emails received from this email address would be creating a ticket in Zodesk. We want this to be disabled. To do that, we just need to toggle this to disable the fetch or to stop the fetching of emails or tickets. You just click that, then you will be prompted. Then you just need to click OK, and that's just it. Any emails or forwarding email that we set up that is being forwarded to this email will no longer create a ticket in our Zoho Desk. To enable it again, you just need to start the fetch and click OK. You can also edit this. You can edit your friendly name. And what else? And you can also delete this. If you want to add another support address, you can just click this icon right here. You can add a new support email address, or you can select from one of the email address. You can utilize your SMTP if you are like. If you have your different email support address and you don't wish to use a forwarding email, you can select them here. So yeah, so that's how you disable or deactivate your support email address in Zoho Desk. If you like this video, feel free to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. And for more how-to videos on Zoho Desk, just click on the notification bell icon. Thank you.